Hey folks, gonna show you how to struggle through changing the oil on a F80 M3. As per usual, changing stuff, you're gonna want to start by opening your hood. You're gonna want to make sure you have the correct materials around, like oil and the correct filter. Then you start jacking it up. Okay, let's get a little bit more serious. You're gonna want to locate wherever your oil drain plug is. Bring down your wrench and prepare to drain the fluids. Here's a picture of what my nut looks like. The wrong size wrench down a few times is always fun. You're gonna want to position your oil drain to catch your nut and the oil. I've heard a lot of people say that this jacking method is maybe unsafe or unstable, but as you can see, I have carefully positioned a stone under the wheel so that upon any accidents, I have an extra few inches of car to keep off my chest. Make sure if you have the kind of car that you need to replace a crush washer on your nut, you do replace the crush washer. It's the little things. Excuse the neighbor who decided to mow his lawn. Can have your dog poop in his front lawn. It's a long story. Make sure it's nice and snug and do this little finger thing just to make it seem like you know what you're doing. And yeah, pray. Next you're gonna wanna loosen your oil filter cap and prepare to remove the oil filter and replace the O-rings. They tend to get pretty hot and warp over time, so they can be pretty tight at first when you get going on it. After that, you're gonna wanna take the filter, the O-rings, all off and replace them with the new units provided. It's always a good idea to work neat. I always use these little pick tools to get the O-rings off. You just have to be careful not to pierce the O-ring itself. But as long as you're careful, it's a pretty quick method to replace these rings. They can be tricky, especially if this is your first time or you have like fingertips that don't work, or maybe you lost your hand in like a boating accident, or we're born with only two fingers. There's a lot of what ifs in life. What if we didn't have these picks? Be sure to just lather a little bit of that extra oil onto the new O-rings. You never want to go in there dry. And yeah. So pop it back in now. I always thread it in by hand first, just to be sure you're not screwing anything up. Or I guess in this case, screwing it up. But anyways, yeah, just tighten it up with your tool. And yeah, you should be pretty much good. You want to get your oil all ready and yeah, fill it up. If you're like me and you drive a BMW, it's a good time to double check and make sure you're not leaking any extra fluids than you probably already were. Yeah, you can see me here. This is the next morning, just doing a little checky poo to see if the oil is filled up, but it made it to work, so I mean, here we go. Absolutely perfect, right at the max line. Look at that. Alright, hey, hopefully this was helpful.